In Gunner, Texas, football is a way of life. The Tigers varsity team puts up insane numbers each week, breaking school and personal records, but there is one player on their 7th grade team who created her own legacy this season.
We had to talk to the coaches about me playing, and then they're so sweet, and they said, that's okay, we can do it. First day of practice, and we started hitting, it was the most simple thing. It wasn't even close to as bad as I thought it would be.
Wren Henry is the first girl to ever play football in Gunner school history. She was the starting receiver this season, and thanks to one varsity player, it looks like she'll be wearing a Tigers uniform for many years to come.
It all started in 2-a-days when I first found out that Wren was playing football, and I saw her mom was driving her, and she came up and asked me, hey, my mom has to go to work, will you drive me to practice in the mornings? And so it's just been every day since 2 days. I've been driving her to practice. She's super excited to come practice. She wants me to drive her because I get here an hour before her team gets here.
Ashton taking an interest in being a part of Wren's life and helping her out, I think that's an awesome thing for any young player, but obviously somebody, a young lady that's trying to be a part of the football program and do something that's really never been done before. I mean, that's a big deal. So really proud of Ashton, and obviously we're super proud of Wren and excited about her future.
At just 12 years old, Wren has no hesitation taking the field and is inspiring others to chase after their dreams.
I just think it's huge for her to be who she is and to be confident in who she is. I can't say that I was that way at that age, so it's inspiring to me to see her doing that and pursuing those dreams now, whereas I feel like I waited till I was much older to get the courage to do some things.
If she can play football, then I can do anything also. Just because she plays football, she does something that not a lot of people do, that means I can do stuff that not a lot of people can do.
But she proved that she can play football and be a starter at it too. I support it.
This is just the beginning for Wren, as she plans to continue her football career throughout high school.
It's a game. Everyone plays it. It doesn't matter if you're a girl or a guy. It's equal skill that matters. And you can go out there and whip some butt.
And I couldn't have said it any better myself. Wren, you're one heck of a kid. And on behalf of myself and KTEN, we wish you the best of luck with your future in football. In studio, Kinsey Lee, KTEN Sports. There's a saying, our lives aren't measured in years, but they're measured in the lives of the people we touch around us. Terrence Snow's friends and family would agree that his life embodied that statement. And November 12th, 2021 is a day Terrence's parents will never forget.
Wade came in probably around 8 or so, 8:30, and we just went to bed. And Wade told him, he said, why don't you go home and come back tomorrow and I'll help you? And he said, no, Dad, I want to go duck hunting.
So it looked like one of the jacks while he was working on it had slipped off while he was doing the work. My wife came out, just woke up and just felt like something was wrong. It was about nearly 11 o'clock, and she ran out here and she seen his legs underneath there, and she came to the house screaming, hollering, hysterically. I got up, I ran out here, and I found him. And had to get the jack out beneath the truck and then get it off of him. And that was kind of the worst day of our life.
Terren played basketball, football, and competed in track. He was a state champion in high jump, and his jersey number is now retired on the basketball court and the football field. However, to everyone who knew Terren, he was much more than just an athlete.
He was always smiling, and like I said, he was great to be around. I mean, football was probably the least of his good attributes. I mean, and don't get me wrong, he was a great player, but he was bigger than that. He was a better person.
Terrence's parents started a scholarship dedicated in his name, Terrence Snow's Dream Scholarship, and 2 recent graduates of Atoka High School were each awarded $1,000, one of them being ECU football commit and close friend and teammate of Terrence's, Andre Cheadle. Now Terrence's memory and athletic dreams can live right here through Norris Field at East Central University.
I'm trying to do everything I can to make him proud of me. I know he's looking over all his friends right now and praying and hoping they take the right path. So I'm hoping and praying he takes me down the right path with football.
Abby Adams was the second winner of the scholarship, having known Terrence since kindergarten. Adams will be attending Murray State College in the fall.
I just want to keep his attitude about everything. He always had a positive attitude, and I just want to keep that throughout my journey at Murray.
Taryn might not physically be here, but for his family, his presence is never absent.
I can look around in a smile, and a wind, and a breeze, and a sunny day on the lake. You see him.
You feel him everywhere.
You see him everywhere you go, and I see him more now than I ever did before.
In less than 24 hours, the longest-running rivalry in the state of Texas will kick off for the 124th year. Denison head coach Brent Winson and Sherman head coach Corey Kane each head into their second year, and for them, there's nothing else like it.
It's just a different kind of game. I played in big games, coached in big games. Played at AT&T Stadium, but I don't know if I would trade atmospheres. That's pretty special.
And this one, until you're there, you truly don't know. The passion on either side of the field is huge. You can feel it before you hear it.
Last year, Denison won 37-13, capturing their 9th straight, but the last thing Sherman wants is for the Yellow Jackets to say they won a decade of Battle of the Axe.
We're tired of it. I haven't had the axe in all my 3 years here. They're going to come at us hard like they always do. They play this game really hard. It's important to them as much as it is us. They're going for a streak, and we're going to beat it.
Denison lost some key players, including quarterback Caleb Heavner, who will be replaced by senior Josh Kurtenbach.
He's a better runner than Caleb was. He doesn't try to be 6'3", 210 and stand back there and sling it. He's a guy that's going to make plays for us.
They have a lot of good players. It's going to be a good game. We have a lot of good players as well, so it's going to be a 11 on 11 like every other game, and I'm just ready for it.
The Yellow Jackets also said goodbye to running back Jadarian Price, who is now at Notre Dame.
Nobody's going to fill Jadarian Price's shoes. One of those guys comes along. If you're lucky as a coach, I've been doing it 26 years, I've had 2. You don't look for somebody to be JD. I just want Jack and Grant Yerkes and those guys. I want them to be themselves because they bring a whole different talent when they're those bowling balls, 5'9", 210-pound guys. I'll take that.
No matter how many players each team lost, a rivalry is a rivalry, and the passion and intensity is never absent.
We lost some great players as well, and so just like we talked about, every player on every team is going to give everything they got, so the matchup is even. We got to go make sure we make less mistakes.
With a game like this, the players know you have to be 100% focused.
You just can't get emotional in a big game like this. You just got to let your cards play right.
You go to every day of practice going 110%, giving all you got every day. Just stay prepared, be ready for the fight.
Kickoff is set for 7:30 this Friday at Munson Stadium. In Denison, Kinsey Lee, KTEN Sports. Recent graduate and center for the Ardmore Tigers, Parker Blankenship was born with a congenital heart defect and has undergone 7 heart surgeries since he was 4 weeks old. He didn't let that stop him from being the starting center for the Tigers his last 2 years of high school and recently signed to play at Oklahoma Panhandle State University. However, a few months ago, Parker's whole life turned upside down.
Well, I woke up and I had chest pain, but sometimes I get that, and I just thought it was a normal thing. I figured I'd go back to sleep, wake up, it'd be fine. But I just couldn't go to sleep. The pain just kept increasing. My friend actually woke up from my breathing.
I'm here at Mercy Hospital in Ardmore, where Parker was rushed through these doors on April 3rd after waking up struggling to breathe. He was then transferred to OU's Children's Hospital in Oklahoma City, where after an 8-day stay, was diagnosed with infectious endocarditis.
Tetralogy of flow is pretty common, and we do a lot of heart surgery on kids with tetralogy of flow, but getting into carditis of that valve doesn't occur very often. And it's unfortunate because when endocarditis, which is infection of the valve, occurs, you have to be treated with IV antibiotics, which he had done. But despite that, the infection spread to that other valve, the aortic valve, and that's what made it even a bigger deal, because then we had to deal with 2 of his valves.
Parker stopped at nothing to make sure he crossed the stage at graduation, and right after was sent back to the hospital in Oklahoma City, where they declared he was an active heart failure. Parker underwent a 7-hour open heart surgery just 5 days later.
I made an incision over the artery and vein in his groin and put tubes in there, meaning I put a tube in the vein that took blue blood to the heart-lung machine, gave it oxygen, and then brought it back in the artery, and that's going on the bypass machine. And that allowed his heart to be decompressed and that machine to do the work for it. And then we were able to get in safely and get the heart off the back of the breastbone. And then that machine is keeping him alive by pumping oxygen to his brain and his organs. And that allows me to stop his heart and do all those repairs while the bypass machine keeps him alive. It's unusual to have to do all this for endocarditis for an infection. There's no doubt that he's gone through a huge operation that rarely anybody can say that they have gone through this and survived that kind of a caliber of operation.
We knew what was going to happen as soon as graduation was over. Like, he didn't take pictures, maybe a couple after graduation, where all the other families were out there taking pictures because we had to go to Oklahoma City, but just to hug him and say you did it.
Parker's football career was forced to come to an earlier end than originally anticipated, but has gotten national recognition from elite softball programs like Florida State, Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma.
Parker, keep fighting. We're thinking of you. Keep fighting. We love you. Go!
Hello, Parker. It's OU Softball here. We wanted to wish you a speedy recovery and just let you know that you're in our thoughts and prayers as we finish out postseason.
Hey Parker, this is Cowgirl Softball. We heard about your surgery and we just wanted you to know that we're praying for a quick recovery, and thank you for watching us, and go Pups. Go Pups!
30 minutes after Parker was released from the hospital, he attended an awards ceremony where he was given the Professional Athletes Foundation Scholarship, presented by the Oklahoma Chapter NFL Former Players Association. He was admitted into the honors program at Southeastern Oklahoma State University, where he plans to study occupational safety and health.
But to look around and see grown men and women all crying too that didn't even know Parker personally, and they were all crying, and for them to stand up said a lot, because I mean the kid gave up a lot.
The day he's released from the hospital, he actually started some type of online class at Southeastern. I mean, he's just a warrior, and he refuses to lose. He refuses to quit. And like I said, he's the best teacher in Ardmore right now, in my opinion, because of what he's faced, what he's overcome, the way he handles it, his attitude, everything.
Applying at Southeastern and getting into the honors program, it makes me feel like I have more in me, to keep going on.
In Ardmore, Kinsey Lee, KTEN Sports.